Maui Condo sales just dropped 27% in a single month. So why am I telling you the condo market might be waking up? Stick around. The answer is one number, and almost no one is talking about it. Aloha, Lahaina Lee here, and welcome back to the Maui Real Estate Advisor, where we talk about buying, selling, and investing in Maui real estate. Thanks for joining us. It's June 2026, and we're changing up our normal reporting process. From now on, we'll be splitting the monthly report into two episodes. Today is all real estate, the numbers, the trends, and what they mean to you. Next week, we'll be back with a companion episode covering the Lahaina rebuild, Bill 9, tourism, and anything else that affects Maui real estate and our economy. These topics deserve more than a couple of minutes squeezed between the data tables, and frankly, so do the data tables. So, how's the market? Well, if you only looked at closed sales, you'd say the condo market took another nap in May. But look one layer deeper, and you'll find the most interesting number of the month. We'll get there in about 60 seconds. But first, let's do the numbers. Condos first, as always. Coming into May, the condo story was a modest recovery. We had 44 closings in January, then 64, 74, and 70. May broke the streak with just 51 closed sales. That's a 27% drop in April, and after 3 encouraging months, that stings. But before you write the market's obituary, look at the pending sales line on this table. Pending sales jumped to 121. That's the highest level in the past 12 months, beating February's 118. Pendings are our leading indicator. They're a preview of June and July closings. When closings drop but pendings spike, that's not a market rolling over. That's a market where buyers smelled a deal and started writing offers. And the deals are real. The median condo selling price dropped to $597,000, down from about $651,000 in April. Outside of last November's $595,000, that's the lowest median of the past year. Call it a retest of the bottom. Maui condos are on sale, y'all, and the pending numbers tell you the shoppers have noticed. If you're a seller, that's the good news and the bad news. Inventory eased to 902 active listings, down from April's peak of 931. That's the first meaningful dip since winter. But don't pop the champagne. At May's sales pace, that's still nearly 18 months of supply. A balanced market is roughly 6. This remains one of the strongest buyers markets Maui has seen in a generation. 2 more telltales before we move on. Average days on market for active condo listings is sitting at 170 days. Yeah, 170 days. I checked. The MLS is not switched to dog years yet. And there's one more number that jumped out at me. 43 condo listings expired in May. That's double April's count and the most in over a year. Some sellers are reading the room and stepping off the field rather than chase the market down. Maybe that makes sense. The ones who stay are priced closer to reality. The median asking price settled in at $799,000 for the second month straight. The gap between asking and selling is still wide, about $200,000 at the medians, but it's narrowing in both directions. Oh, and one more quick note on the elephant in the room. Bill 9 is now law, and it is absolutely part of why condo pricing looks the way it does. Every apartment zone condo now has a rental rights clock attached to it, and the market is pricing that clock in. We'll cover the latest, including the H3 and H4 rezoning question in next week's episode. Bottom line on condos, closings dipped, but pendings hit a 12-month high right as prices retested the bottom. It's still a buyer's market with a capital B, and buyers know it. Moving on to homes, last month I told you the home market was approaching balance. March gave us 76 closings, the best in 2 years, and supply was down to about 5.7 months. and I said the buyer-friendly window might be narrowing. Well, the market heard me and decided to be difficult. April closings slumped to 49, and May recovered to 58 closed sales. That's a solid bounce and right around the 2-year average of roughly 60 homes per month. Meanwhile, inventory ticked up to 444 homes. Run the math, and we're back to about 7.7 months of supply. So the flirtation with the balanced market is on pause. Buyers, you've been given a reprieve. Pending sales came in at 108, down from 119, and right in the normal range. So expect June closings somewhere in the high 50s to 60s unless something surprises us. Now the pricing story, and this is where it gets interesting. The median home selling price slid to $1,174,500. Call it $1.7 million. That's the second lowest of the past 12 months, behind only last November. And as we said last month, when the median drifts down to a level where more buyers can actually transact, sales volume tends to follow. That's exactly what May gave us. Now, look at the asking side. The median asking price held at $1.85 million. The average asking price came in at around $3.5 million, down significantly from March's peak of $3.71. That's 2 months of softening at the top, which tells me some luxury sellers may be finally adjusting. They may want to hurry. Average days on market for active home listings has climbed every single month this year and now sits at 158 days, the highest in the past 12 months. The well-priced homes are selling. The aspirationally priced homes are aging like fine milk. I'll let that sink in for a minute. Bottom line on homes, sales bounced back, prices came down to where buyers live, and the top of the market is slowly getting the memo. It's a mild buyer's market for now. A quick word on land. 11 vacant land sales closed in May against 202 active listings. The median sale dropped to $495,000, the lowest in the past year. Land remains a thin, patient market. It's measured in seasons, not months. If you're a buyer with the vision of a long timeline, there are sellers out there ready to talk story. So here's how I'd sum up May. On condos, don't let the 51 closings fool you. We have prices retesting the bottom, inventory off its peak, expired listings doubling, and pendings at a 12-month high. That combination is what the early innings of a turn can look like. Now, I'm not calling a bottom. We don't do that here. And anyone who does is probably selling you something. But buyers writing offers right now are getting selection and leverage that didn't exist 2 years ago. Just do your homework, because zoning and rental rights now drive value as much as the ocean view does. On homes, the market keeps finding its footing right around 1.2 million. The action is at the entry level and the mid-level. The luxury end is setting, and that steady climb in days on market is the proof. Sellers who price to the last 90 days of comps, if there are any comps in the last 90 days, are closing. Sellers pricing to 2022 are watching their listings turn stale and increasingly watching them expire. Either way, the most expensive thing you can do right now is wait without information. And remember, next week we'll be back with a companion episode, the Lahaina rebuild, the latest on Bill 9 and the H3, H4 rezoning question, and where tourism stands heading into the summer. Those forces shape everything you heard today, so don't miss it. That subscribe button is how you make sure you don't. Thanks for tuning in. If you have comments or questions, drop them below or shoot an email to lee@alohapots.com. I answer every one. And if you like this episode, give us a like and maybe send it to someone you know who's thinking about Maui. And if you haven't already, subscribe to make sure you don't miss anything. Oh, and if you or someone you know is thinking about buying, selling, or just keeping track of Maui's real estate market, we've got a fabulous team of seasoned, well-trained professionals standing by to help you out. So that's all for now. And from the greatest island on earth, this is Lahaina Lee saying, aloha. Tony Brown produced this podcast. The information provided in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as a recommendation to invest in real estate or any other financial asset. We are not financial planners, certified public accountants, or attorneys. You should consult with a qualified professional before making any financial, legal, or investment decisions. All investments carry risk, and past performance is not indicative of future results.